What's going on, guys? This is Ian Starkey, your host of the New Equity Connections podcast. Today, I'm going to be hanging out with one of my really good friends, Nate. Nate and I are in the same real estate mastermind group. We met about a year ago, almost a year ago.
Mhm.
And Nate's doing a lot of big things in the single family space as well as getting in the multifamily space as well. So, Nate, welcome on, brother. Good to have you.
Dude, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I guess, gosh, it was about a year ago, wasn't it? That
You were in the Smoky Mountains, right? You were at that event.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that was your first one, right?
Yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, man. Time flies. But yeah, no, dude, really appreciate it. So for anyone listening who doesn't know me, Nate Hirschberg, I'm based out of Charleston, South Carolina. Single family fix and flip business with my partner Brian, and we started in Charleston. Since have expanded out into auxiliary markets, kind of tiptoeing into Nashville, Savannah, basically really the Southeast.
Mhm.
On track to do about 70 deals, 70 flips this year, and just launched a JV program and got three new joint venture partners in different markets. So that very well could be in the hundreds, and I hope it is. Yeah, I want to see all those folks win. And then tiptoed into the multifamily space. Got that 40 unit down in Angleton, Texas, in your backyard,
Mhm.
and then we did have a 68 unit under contract in Kentucky, but we no longer do. That has since foregone.
Yeah, I remember talking to Brian about that one, man. He's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Man, it's an opportunity, but it's out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a bit of a hop and a skip to get over there, and unless it's just an absolute smoke show, something like that. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to
Yeah,
you on that one. Well, so what made you guys pull out? For those of you listening, pulled out of what was it, a $2 million deal?
yeah, just under 2 million.
So walked away from a $2 million deal. Tell us about that.
So, basically it kind of started off a little chaotic, if you will, anyway. Basically,
Mhm.
no joke. We all do all direct seller marketing, right? So we came across this lead, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm 68 units, Kentucky. Sounds like we're in the same range of this accepting an offer. The only caveat is I have somebody coming on Friday that wants to look at it and is going to probably buy it as a 1031 exchange. And
Mhm.
this is Wednesday night. So Brian calls me. He's like, hey, dude, we need to be in Kentucky tomorrow. And this is like 8 o'clock at night. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm like looking up flights. I'm like, well, shit, that ain't going to work. So I get in the car next morning, 3:30 in the morning. I drive out there. We meet, do our due diligence, and we end up getting a ratified agreement with this guy to buy it at like 10 p.m. that night. Like we're in the lobby negotiating with him at the hotel.
Mhm.
So it started off on that foot. And then, basically, long story short, brokers got involved, false promises got delivered, lenders couldn't perform on terms that they had said that they were going to. Things just got pushed and pushed and pushed, and we were way past our period to perform with the seller.
Mhm.
Seller's like, dude, it's got to close this week, or it's not. Period. I'm getting tired of getting strung along. Brian and I, mostly Brian, was tired because he was doing a lot of this deal. Was tired of investing so much into it, and it was a decent deal, but
Mhm.
it wasn't a slam dunk, right?
Yeah, I
So
remember he brought me he called me up one day and he was like, "Hey, can you help me raise some money?" I was like, "Sure. I mean, I can call some guys up."
yeah,
Just sent me like sent me like the tax ID and sent me this, sent me that. I'm like, all right, so what's the investment? What's the opportunity? What's the upside? And I didn't mean to like kill it in front of him or like take shots, but I kind of helped him kill the deal right there. He's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well,
yeah,
there's not much upside, and then you're telling me it's far away from you. I mean, we're already dealing with a bit of a headache that's far away.
yeah.
It's tough, it's tough.
It's tough, and like Nick Burton says, find a way to kill the deal. If the deal survives, it's a deal,
Mm,
and it just didn't survive, man. It wasn't worth it. It was worth it in the beginning when we thought we were going to have to come out of pocket like $68,000, but that turned into like 300,000. So that changed really quick, and we're like, all right, this is probably not worth it anymore.
mm,
But it was a really, really great experience. And hey, man, it's hard to walk away from something you've invested so much time into. And, obviously we're going to lose the earnest money. I think that was about $20,000, $25,000, and some
Mhm.
lawyer fees, I think about 16,000. So we're losing some skin there, but it's also not, we're not taking down that asset that was going to be just this daunting thing weighing on us for not just a month, but years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and 68 doors. I mean, that's big enough for property managers, but that's not that big in that it's going to have such a great spread. I mean, you're going to have about, I'd estimate, a 52 to 55% expense. After debt service, you're walking away with 20 to 30 cents of your dollar, and that's money, but it's just you got to fly out there, you got to get out there, you got to check on it. It's in the middle of nowhere. Brian was like, I don't want to do this. He's like, will you take it? I was like, I don't want to take it. I want to be in Texas.
I know, man. Yeah. And, the 40 unit that we own in Angleton showed us a lot. Like the writing was on the wall,
Hmm.
that we knew some stuff getting into it that we didn't otherwise know when we took down the 40 unit. So we like just forecasted all these problems that were going to probably come up again.
Hmm.
And so it's like, dude, it's just not the right time. Yeah, let's pull back. And then that's how we decided we were going to really pour the fire to our single family stuff and do some joint venture partnerships and things like that.
Hmm.
And we're just going to focus on that. We're going to stay in our lane on the single family stuff for a while, get the 40 units stabilized, and then we'll start looking again, but we just want to do it the right way.
No, absolutely. And for those of you who are listening, on the single family side, if someone is someone new who's watching this, wants to get into the space, they're looking for an opportunity. To tell me about your joint venture opportunity. Tell me about that. What's that? What is that? What's it going to look like?
So the joint venture opportunity is really cool. I'm a little biased to it, obviously, but
Mm.
we took on three partners. We're capping it at three right now. Not forever. It's not a marketing pitch or anything like that. But we want to get them stabilized, and then we'll open it up for another three.
Mhm.
And it's a literally start to finish. It can take somebody who has never done a flip before, doesn't even know what an earnest money deposit is, and get them through how to flip. And then we're going to be there to help them through that process.
Mhm.
It's going to offer out our cold calling services, our operational systems, all of our basically transaction coordination structure.
Mhm.
And then also we're going to offer up our own capital to take down the deals with the folks.
Mhm.
So it's really start to finish, man. So somebody who's never flipped before can thrive in this program, the JV program, or someone who has done 15, 20, 30 deals could still thrive from the marketing side of things,
Yeah.
from that part of it.
So basically, it's I mean, you're just kind of almost holding someone's hand from A to Z.
Yeah.
And then how does someone get into this? Is it like an entry fee? Like how does it work?
Yeah. So the first step would be to hop on a call with Brian and I,
Mhm.
and just kind of talk goals, right? Talk what they want to do, talk about what we would provide,
Mhm.
and see if those pieces align first. Because that's great if someone wants to pay $30,000 to get in, but they're not the right fit for their goals and culture, then I'd just rather not take their money, right? I'd rather refer them to somebody else that maybe is. So that's the first step. Let's just talk about stuff, talk about what it is on a deeper level, talk about goals, how we can get you there. And then if that's a great fit, then yeah, there's a small barrier to entry fee. And then we do a split on the back end where if they need our capital, it's a 60-40 split. 60% goes to the operator of the profit.
Mhm.
40% goes to Brian and I. And then if they don't need our capital or some hand or a little bit less hand holding, whatever that might look like, then we do a 70-30 split, 70% to the operator.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who are in what areas are you doing this in?
So the three partners we brought on, one is in Orlando, Florida. The other one is in the upper part of South Carolina, like Columbia, Florence, and then the other one is basically in kind of the outskirts of Northern Virginia, kind of getting into West Virginia a little bit.
Mhm.
Cool thing is we do offer market exclusive, if you will. So we're not going to take another JV partner or in Orlando or anything like that to
Yeah.
keep it somewhat exclusive.
No, yeah. I mean, you have two guys in the same market. They're starting to duke it out at these wholesale walkthroughs. They're like, wait, aren't you with Nate? You're with Nate. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You got two offers in from the same buyer. What's going on here? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, so if you are in those areas and you're looking to get started and really do things at a high level and make a lot of money flipping houses, get with these guys, man. They're studs.
Appreciate that. Anywhere, really anywhere except California and New York. If you're in those two states, I don't hate you. I just hate your state.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I had some of my friends. They're in Legacy Boardroom. I'm trying to get them in the Legacy family too. They're from California. Man, they big cost entry. I mean, they're building, flipping, developing these right now. My buddy's got a it's going to be a $20 million listing going live. I think it's next week.
Mm.
I mean, it's big scale. But
It's so crazy. And even just like, you know, even just to get market share for for marketing,
yeah.
just to even obtain a small sliver of the market, you have to spend so much freaking money to do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's you buy a house for 800,000, put 200,000 into it, you're all in for $1 million, and then at the end of the day, you could walk away with 100 grand, you could walk away with 500 grand. It's just it's this long dark road of writing check, and then finally you get to the closing table and you can breathe.
Dude, I saw a listing. I forget where it was on Bigger Pockets or something. It was a LA listing, Los Angeles, California listing. It was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, just under 800 square foot little shack. Needed basically tore down, or a really heavy value add flip.
Yeah.
900 grand, dude. Like, dude, $900,000 with an ARV of like 1.5. I was blown away. I'm like, dude, you hit capital constraints like that with one flip going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, my market, it's getting more competitive, but I mean, there's a point about 1-2 years ago you could buy a house for 50 grand, put 30 into it, and turn around, put it on the market for 150. Make a
Yep.
quick, 70 pop. Out there,
Yep.
your 70 pop comes after investing close to $1 million. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's just a whole wild animal. But yeah, so anywhere other than those states, I'd be happy to talk to anybody as long as the goals are right.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll drop your contact at the bottom
Yeah.
or somewhere. We'll drop your contact for those of you who want to get involved or curious about real estate, curious about getting in the space on the single family side, and just from a production standpoint, what have you guys done so far this year? What are you on track for this year to, I guess, let's just say earn, between you and Brian.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I actually, funny enough, kind of have like the spreadsheet pulled up in front of me. I was literally doing some numbers before this call.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our average profit per deal is about $25,000 after everything is paid.
Mm-hmm.
We're on track to do about 70 of those, and there's going to be some anomalies in there. Like we did one earlier this year. There was $130,000 profit on, so obviously that helps move things up a bit. I think we'll probably end up netting around 2 mil, like in the $2 million range, not including any of the joint venture programs or anything like that. That's all separate revenue.
Mm-hmm. So making 2 million a year flipping houses.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy
Mm-hmm.
because Brian and I started two dudes at a kitchen table in a small house. Like we would meet up at his house, sit at his kitchen table with a notebook of leagues, and we would just cold call those leagues together at a kitchen table. And now I live in Charleston still, but he lives in Arlington. We've got acquisitions guys, one in Atlanta, one in New Jersey. We've got a team of cold callers, and it's just kind of crazy to see what can happen. And mind you, like us calling from the kitchen table with a notebook was just under 2 years ago. So it wasn't all that long ago. So it's cool to see what you can do when you put your nose down and get in rooms with the right people, like the Legacy family mastermind.
Oh yeah, dude. And I mean, getting in rooms like that, I mean, it's you shoot up. I mean, it's leaps and bounds ahead of just banging your head against the wall trying to figure it out, because it's
Yeah.
just whether it's just nuggets, man. It's like sometimes you'll go in there to a mastermind, a meeting, you'll spend 10, 25, however much you spend, but it's like just one little nugget, one little idea, one new system, it it blows you up. I mean, it's insane.
And people ask us all the time, Brian gets this question, I get this question like, dude, what happened in the last year? You guys exploded. And I say the same things like, well, it's kind of a two-part one. We put our nose down and didn't worry about what everyone else is doing. But
Mm-hmm.
we uh, paid for the experience and the education of folks that are doing what we're doing. Makes it's just like what they're doing is crazy, different levels, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Evans, Tim, even Chris Kelly down in Florida flipping 300 homes a year, like just superstars in the space and picking their brains. That's the only thing that changed.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, you're the Mark Evans mastermind as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So Brian just joined that one. He like caps it at one operator per company. So
Mhm.
Brian's diving in deep into that one, and I'm kind of riding on the coattails on that. But it's cool. It's going to be really cool to see, how they differ and how they complement each other as well.
Yeah. No, I know a couple of guys from Legacy Fam are in there. I know Tim's in there. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. We're trying to get out there and get more education. It pays for itself, and some of this stuff you can't even quantify. Like, how do we quantify our return on legacy family? It's impossible at this point. Relationships, income, strategies, systems, like it's hard. You just can't do it.
No, you can. And I mean, dude, it's like I've already, I think right now, set to got about 235 units under contract. Once those close, I'll 100x my 100x my initial investment. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's insane, and it's literally just from going in the room, shaking hands, meeting people, making those relationships. It's
yeah. And having one hell of a time doing it too, I must say.
oh yeah. Are you gonna be at the next one coming up?
I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I may be out of town during that time. The advantage is it's right on my back doorstep, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you know Tim before you joined the family, or how long have you known Tim since y'all are kind of in the same area?
Dude, never met him. Like never met him before. So Brian had followed him on social, and he's like, "Hey, you need to check this guy out." So I started listening to some of his content. I'm like, "Hey, he's a rock star, man. You can tell when someone's like this full of crap and not."
Yeah.
Um, and so then we hopped on a call and we're like, what do you got to offer? Considered the boardroom versus family, and just made the leap to get into Legacy's family. And then the first event we went to was in Charleston. He's like, "Hey, it's going to be in Charleston at my house." And he sent me the address. I'm like, "Dude, I'm like 3 minutes from your house." Like
Mhm.
we were basically neighbors, and never ran into each other. So it's cool to be here in Charleston. We've gone out a couple of times, grabbed coffee, drinks, and just being able to pick his brain a little bit on a more one-on-one setting, because he's just got a load of information to give.
Oh yeah, dude. He's a machine, man. Tim. And for those of you who don't know, those of you watching, Tim Bratz, it's about 34, 35, owns about half a billion worth of commercial real estate, and is continuing to grow that portfolio. He's kind of stabilized the portfolio now and gonna look to keep growing it here soon. So yeah, absolute stud. He's on several podcasts. I definitely recommend checking him out if you haven't already. So yeah. And then
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a lot of pretty much anything for everybody. Like that's one thing I will say. Like if you're not ready to hop into, let's just say like his family's got the boardroom, and the boardroom offers a load of value too. Like really does.
oh yeah. No, the boardroom, I mean, it's the boardroom, we're like, we should get an affiliate fee from Tim for this.
Tim, if you're listening, I need a fee. I need
Oh
a
yeah.
affiliate link.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, no, we do have affiliate links. So I'll drop my affiliate link too. So for those of you interested in the boardroom, it's basically it's an investment. It's an investment like anything else, but you get access to Tim's whole team on daily calls. So like Monday, it's his director of acquisitions. Tuesday, director of operations. Wednesday, it's his investor relations, legal team. Thursday, I think it's another guy on his team. Friday, some special guests. I know you've been on the Friday call. I've been on the Friday call before.
Yeah.
It's just, tons of value. I mean, it's really pulling back the curtain of how a multi-million, multi-billion dollar firm operates. it's funny. It's been such a secret until like the last couple of years how these guys do it. And now, you see a lot of new guys coming on the scene and making a big splash. It's good to see. It's awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah, dude, it's really incredible.
Mhm. So yeah, besides real estate, man, what else you got going on? I mean,
Uh, Dude, I'm really all in on different facets of real estate for sure. But hands down, obviously, single family fix and flips, the JB partnerships, really heavy lifting getting those up off the ground. But once they are off the ground, that's going to be really cool. Of course, the multifamily and dabbling a little bit, trying to dabble a little bit in e-com. I don't know if you dabble anybody in e-commerce or not, but I'm dabbling a little bit into that, trying to get something going.
I haven't yet. I've been looking at crypto, man. I have a couple accounts. Got a couple coins I'm holding. They're all down right now, so
Yeah.
I've been
Elon,
going long on everything lately, making a little bit of money.
Elon and I have words to exchange, man. But no, that's it. I have crypto too. I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, and like one other one. But people all freaking out selling all their coins right now because of the dip, and all that's doing is making people holding more wealthy. People just need to chill out and just relax. It will correct. It's just like any other market. There has corrections involved with it, and they just need to ride out the dip. And right now, like if you have extra cash, I know it's scary because no one has a crystal ball to see whether or not it's going to go back up, but I would buy. I'm actively buying every chance I can right now.
Oh yeah, no, and that's exactly what you should do. I actually, well, I follow this guy who has a crypto fund. It's almost like those guys in The Big Short, the young guys, the young traders.
Yeah, I know what you're
Started
talking
in their
about.
garage, built up to 30 million. He's almost got a very similar story. It's him and his partner. They started with their own money. They built it up to I think they built it up to about 15 million, and they started raising money to get more higher leverage trades. And I mean, yeah, I've been following him and made a lot of money doing it. And that actually posted a video of it's an old trading pattern that shows exactly what happened to Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's basically like, because institutions are getting into it. Institutions, JP Morgan, big guys, big money's getting into crypto because it's just the place to be. And it absolutely is the future. So,
Yeah.
it's very much a manipulation. It's very much, we all kind of, we all got caught slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
Cause I'll drop the video. I'll drop the link to the video too. It's really interesting. About a 15-minute video showing an actual chart pattern of what just happened, and it's like literally textbook to this just chart pattern of manipulation.
Yeah.
Big money comes in, pumps it up, dumps a little bit, pumps it, dumps a little bit more, and then puts their short order in at a certain price, pumps it to that price, and then just
Dude, it's all a cycle, man. Exactly like what you just said. It's all a cycle.
oh yeah.
And I'm no financial expert, and anyone watching, do not take this as financial advice by any way, shape, or form. But if you don't hold any crypto right now, I would strongly encourage you to, because it is like you said, man, it is the future, and you'll kick yourself in the ass in 10 years if you hadn't bought any now.
Exactly, man. I mean, it's just, the dollar, people were talking about how the dollar's not going to be the dollar. I think the dollar will always be around. I know other currencies will always be around, but it's just to me, it's a speculation. I think crypto, I mean, you can buy things with Bitcoin. I've seen people buy real estate with Bitcoin. I know some gas stations have it in there. But no, I definitely think it is definitely a tool. It's definitely something it's an asset class that
Yeah.
absolutely you should be invested into.
And dude, I mean, the fact of the matter is, uh, I think it's 1/5 of the current US dollar in circulation right now was printed and created in 2020. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, you don't have to be a financial expert to see the writing on that wall, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the dollar lost its value. It just
Yeah,
shot down because they printed so much of it. It's
exactly.
ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, you got an asset that's growing. You got an asset that's declining. Let's put that asset that's declining into the one that's growing, and make more money with your money.
That's it, man. It's not rocket science.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's cool, man. So, and you and Brian, I actually had a session with him. I think it was last week, and I love Brian, man. For those of y'all, you'll see the episode with Brian. He's an absolute character, great dude.
Yeah, he's funny, dude. It's great. It's cool working with him hand in hand.
Mhm. And do you guys, let's see, do you guys have an like? How's your setup? Because you said you have an acquisitions guy in Atlanta,
Yeah.
another one where at?
So we got an acquisitions guy in Atlanta, another one in New Jersey. Brian's in Arlington. I'm in Charleston, and then we have cold callers and Filipino or cold callers and BAs at the Philippines.
Hmm.
But yeah, no physical office. When Brian and I were kind of building this thing up, we're like, who do we want to be? And I'm never the person that's just like, well, let's have 50 offices or anything like that. Everything's just so easily done virtually now.
Yeah.
And I want anyone that we employ to have a really badass lifestyle too. Like if one of our acquisitions guys wants to go to freaking Greece for a week, cool. Take your computer with you, make some calls while you're there. I don't care where you're at in the world. As long as you have internet, you're making your calls and leads keep coming in. That's all I really care about. The rest is on you, man.
It's have you read the book, the 4 Hour Work Week?
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it.
Yeah.
It's like my emesis of a book. Yeah, I've had great intent to finish this thing like probably 6 times and just always put it down, don't pick it up. Have you listened to it or read it?
I'm reading it right now, and it's like it's so good. There's so much good content and teachings in there. It's you can't just read it. Like you have to read it and take action to really like
Yeah.
absorb it. And that's why it's taken me a while to finish it, but it's very much the new rich, and the way you guys run your company, I like that a lot, man. It's not this, corporate sweatshop where you want like all your guys, smiling and fucking dialing. You want them out there living life. And I mean, that's awesome. That's how it should be.
That's what everyone wants anyway, at least this generation, right? It's like just meet them where they're at and like, guys, results speak louder than actions. Like we are a results first company.
Hmm.
You send me a contract a week or 2 contracts a week that's got a $50,000 profit on the back end. Dude, I don't care what the hell, I don't care what you do during the day. You keep performing, do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Hmm. Whatever works for you, man. If you freaking
Yep, 100%, dude. And I think it's funny to see larger institutions who recognized when we went through COVID, holy crap, we don't need all this massive, expensive office space.
Mm-mm.
It's already happening a little bit, but I'm going to predict and say there's going to be a lot of office space converted into affordable housing in the next 5 to 10 years.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, it's just and we're seeing it a lot too. It's very it's a style now to go with that rustic industrial design for apartments, housing. So I definitely agree with you. And plus it's not needed. I mean, people work better at home, people are comfortable at home.
Okay.
They can save money on gas, food. It's better for the environment, less emissions. I mean, it's just, it's unless you actually feel like you need to go to an office to work, working from home is just fine. I do it every day. Living the
Me
dream.
too. And I'm way more productive at the house. Like I used to go to an office when I first got into real estate. I was like working with for Keller Williams and like trying to do listing agent stuff and things like that. And I would go to a physical office and I'm way more productive here at the house. I'll get 8 hours of work done in 4, like 100% all day long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I have other friends that they're going through their corporate jobs, doing their corporate stuff. They're always talking about how to do what I do. I tell them exactly what to do. I'm like, you want to hop in? Let's do it. And they're like, they just never take action. But it's funny. Whenever COVID just happened, I talked to my buddies, check in, see how they're doing with the whole social distancing. They're like, dude, I hate this. Like I get everything done in 2 hours. I don't know what else to do with my day. I'm like, what?
What?
Like, I'm too productive at home. What do I do? Make more money.
Yeah, go for a walk, enjoy life.
Right? Go work out, go run, go tan, go, I don't know. It's like, damn, I finished all my work too early. What do I do? I don't know.
That's funny, man. Yeah, no, it's
Mm.
new world. People were like, oh man, I'd be terrified if I owned massive office space. And while that's true, yeah, to a degree, I would be terrified if I didn't know what exit strategy to have
Yeah.
and how to pivot and how to advertise. Like, hey, this is going south. I'm not having 400 offices leased anymore. Let's
Mhm.
get in here and make this affordable housing. And I think whoever does that will come out on top. I think whoever sits with empty office space, well, somebody like you or I might come through and pick it up as a great development project for pennies on the dollar.
Oh yeah, dude. I actually saw yesterday. WeWork posted a $1.6 billion loss.
Mm,
I
dude,
mean, it's a picture of their CEO just like, like, what do we do?
it's nuts.
Insane.
That's crazy. Do you do any single family fix and flips down there?
So it's funny. I haven't done many in the past. I connected with some really cool, really good investors. That like single family. They like multifamily, but they're like, I want quick pops. I want my money in and out. And I'm like, all right, well, let's while we're working on these big multifamilies, let's start keeping the pipeline full because right now I'm a licensed agent and it's cool, but it's very transactional. A commission is like 1/10 what I can make on some of these wholesales or some of these flips. And now that I have the capital basically like waiting to deploy, I mean, right now I'm actually looking at two flips right now. One's a 1 point, we can get this home for 1.8 million. I need to talk to my partner about it. I think our purchase is like 1.8, rehab's about 350, and then comps are showing a sale of around 3 to 3.2. So I'm
Nice.
looking at that. It's very competitive out here, man. There's a lot of wholesalers out here just freaking making a killing on single family.
I
Like
bet.
I got a buddy I'm actually doing a podcast session with later this week. He's in LA wholesaling in Houston, and I mean he's like bragging. He's like, dude, I'm putting these things for market value and they're getting snatched up. I'm like,
It's nuts, man.
I respect you, but I hate you because I can't get anything.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like here in Charleston,
Hmm.
we'll put a deal up that needs, I don't know, let's just call it $30,000 worth of renovation.
Hmm.
People are buying this crap almost retail. Like I have no idea what's going on, but we're riding this cash wave while it happens, and it's just obnoxious the amount of offers and attention that any listing that comes on gets. Like it's cool, but we had looked at Houston. Brian and I had looked at Houston as a secondary, or I guess like different market.
Hmm.
Haven't ruled it out just yet either.
No,
So might be cool to partner up with something down there with you guys.
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah. Houston, I'd definitely say if you're going to pick a city in Texas, I would do Houston.
Really?
I'd say Houston number one, probably San Antonio number two. Austin, Austin's tough, man. It's pricey. Austin's really competitive.
Yeah, I can see
Austin's
that.
it's that sight unseen 100K above ask offer city.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Is that just based on inventory or is that just because of location and inventory?
Location and inventory.
Yeah.
Elon's building the factory. Bezos just built a factory. Besides the job growth just skyrocketing, it's just a fun place to be. I mean, Austin's just cool. I mean, you were out there. You had a good time,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, it was wild, man. Like
Hmm.
it's a city I've never had a like you can't even describe what it feels like to go there. Like I've never felt a vibe like Austin. So it was cool. It was cool to visit.
No, it's fun. And dude, that's my hometown, and I'm trying to get out there like yesterday, but it's pricey, man. I mean,
Yeah, I can.
I'm on a lake house now in Houston, so I'm not doing too bad. I'm looking at the water right now. It's kind of gloomy, but same house in Austin would be at least 600K more. Man,
No
so
kidding. Wow.
yeah.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, dude, I can see that for sure. But it's not too far away from where you're at now. I mean, damn, I drove from Angleton to Austin, and that was easy peasy. And that was like more than double the amount of time it takes for you to get there.
Yeah, in Angleton, dude, there's a lot of growth projected for that part. Angleton, Freeport, Lake Jackson. Because I'm actually under contract on an RV park out in Freeport.
Okay,
And
cool.
we spoke to the director of I think community development, some cool title like that. I don't know. He oversees all the development of the city. And there's a $250 million energy bond coming to Freeport.
Oh,
So
wow.
hasn't been finalized yet, but there's that energy bond. It's going to add about 700 more jobs. They're actually also digging the port at Freeport deeper so bigger ships can come in.
Nice.
So,
Right. They did the same thing here in Charleston, and they keep digging, man. They just like keep making it deeper and deeper and deeper.
mhm,
Freeport's a pretty cool. Like I went down there the first time we ever went to our apartment building. We went down to Freeport. It
mhm.
was pretty wild, man. It's a very industrialized town,
Oh, yeah.
no doubt about it. The beach was wild too, dude. There was like this cars parked for as far as you could see each way, and I'm not like this full blown parties on the beach. It was hilarious.
Dude, yeah, my it's funny. I met one of the contractors to give us a bid. He's like, "Yeah, me and my wife, we don't live too far from here. We went to the beach and we couldn't park. Like there was no parking. Like there was wall to wall cars because now people can go out. Now people can. I mean, consumer spending is about to go through the roof now that like things are opening back up. It's
Yeah, which is cool, man. Anyone who's any of those small businesses that survived all this madness, like the end is near. That I think anyway. I can't speak for all markets, but here in South Carolina, things have pretty well come back full circle to normal, if you will.
oh yeah, and rightfully so, man. It we needed it. We needed it bad.
Dude, 100%. You can only starve for so long, man. Got an economy to run, and people have livelihoods. Got to get the people back out there and start swiping credit cards again.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and I'm glad things are chilling out now. We got vaccines coming out, got, people chilling out. It's opening back up. It's getting
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, agreed.
But dude, closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. What would you tell someone that's wanting to get into this space, either on the single family side, multifamily side? What would be the first thing someone should do to get, set themselves on the track to get where you are now?
Hands down, find whoever is doing what you want to do on the level that you think you want to do it on,
Hmm.
and reach out to them. You know, Certainly you have to take action, but first get educated, have a clear sense of direction. Like otherwise, you're just driving in your car without the GPS on. You hope you're going the right way, but you have no damn idea if you are or not.
Yeah.
So find whoever that person is, reach out to them. Invest a little bit of your capital into yourself. There is no better ROI than back into yourself,
Hmm.
and then take action on that. Education without action is pointless. Might as well go and just flush down the toilet.
Hmm. Awesome. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
Nate,
dude.
it's a pleasure having you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it again, man.
Mhm.
Hey, if you come in here into Charleston and I'm in town, let's hit the town, man. Let's do a little stuff outside the event.
Absolutely.
But I think I might be out of town.